So there's another aspect to this that older fighters.
Oh my God, he's ripping to the body.
I'm gonna smash your boy, guys. I'm not talking about.
Y'all must have forgot. Gotta be very careful.
海賊王になるのは俺だ。
It's time!
Hey y'all, welcome to Never Bored with George. I'm your host George, and I'm with my buddy here,
Jason.
And today I'm proud to introduce our new series, Never Bored with MMA, where we cover UFC, Bellator, any combat sports that we feel interested in, and we want to discuss. We're going to do it on this show, and I am proud to bring our first video covering UFC 266. Guys, we are so excited to talk about some of the biggest fights on this card, but you know, for the first video, I believe to kind of solidify our OG status, we got to talk about Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler.
Let's go, man. This is a big fight because me personally, I have never seen Nick Diaz fight in like live television. So to finally be able to witness Nate Diaz's brother, the older brother. So we're talking the guy that basically, I don't want to say this, but I guess put Nick Diaz into this like scenario, right?
I would agree that he definitely paved the way for the Diaz army as a whole. You know,
exactly.
to bring in that Diaz flair that everyone in the UFC is always hyped to bring.
Exactly. So I'm just excited to see that. And Robbie Lawler, you know, he's a legend as it is. He was a welterweight champion, all that. So we know he's gonna be on. I'm just excited to see this, and yeah, that's.
Dude, I totally agree with you, Jason. What's great about seeing Nick Diaz return, particularly against Robbie Lawler, is that this is a rematch 17 years in the making. That first fight 17 years ago was insane. Nick Diaz was the underdog for that fight because we all saw the power of Robbie Lawler, his ruthlessness in each match coming out, and to see Nick Diaz being his gangster self, regardless of what anyone said or told him at that time, he stayed true to himself, giving that nonchalant, I don't care about all this press, all this stuff, I just want to fight. And he came in and showed some excellent striking against Robbie Lawler to the point where it shocked the world when he took him down, and I believe it was in round 1.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I still watch that fight in the highlight reel to this day, and I love seeing the UFC promo, that highlight, because it just gets you so hyped to see an underdog come out of nowhere, flex it up, and boom, a great, beautiful strike to the face that put Robbie Lawler down. And I think one of the things that kind of raised Nick Diaz above the rest, one of the biggest fights of his life, and it's so great to see this matchup once again. But, you know, if we're going to be fair, let's talk about this matchup with the whole setting stage. We know this fight was originally at welterweight, but last week it turns out that the Diaz team requested that the fight be changed to middleweight. Now, there's some speculation about one of Nick's closest friends talking about a video about how, you know, Nick got knocked out when in training camp. So that could be why the weight change was requested. But regardless, I don't like to speculate on that. I just want to let you all know about that. You know, that's one of the reasons that could. Again, this is hearsay. This is hearsay. Yeah. But, you know, keep that in the back of your mind if something does go wrong against for Nick, you know.
I mean, either way, man, like, I know Nick is gonna show up because, like, he's been gone for 5 years, man. This is expectations for me, what I'm expecting. Right? I'm expecting it to be just an amazing fight because, like, I know he must have put in so much time, like, throughout the 5 years that he's been gone. Like, he must have been training to get prepared for this. I mean, not for this, but just in general, right?
Right. And I mean, what we saw, I mean, let's just take a look at like the language during the current press conferences. It feels like he doesn't want to be there.
That's true.
It's a lot of stuff you can speculate about it, but it feels to me in spirit, it still feels like it's him to its core, regardless. Like, he doesn't like everything, all the stuff around fighting, but the fight is what he lives for. Yeah. And I mean, I think to carry on to your point, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this fight goes down because, I mean, we're talking about a 5-year layoff. Granted though, it wasn't like he was sitting around and, you know, just partying, which we
Right.
know that he has partied and hung out with celebrities and stuff,
Yeah.
but he also was a full-time teacher teaching
Jiu-jitsu,
jiu-jitsu
yep.
for kids, so he's staying active. We've seen him doing triathlons thing. You gotta get in shape for that. And so there could be the possibility where it's like the Max Holloway effect, where he doesn't have to do hard sparring. He's just at a level where the sparring part doesn't matter. It's just him going to perform. I mean, Max Holloway, when his fight came up recently, he was saying, like, I didn't spar because of COVID. I instead was just playing video games and just did my training.
Yeah.
And it turned out he put one of the best performances I've ever seen against Calvin Kattar, to the point where Calvin Kattar had to go to the hospital after. So yes, sparring's important, activity is important, but when you have someone that has the fight in their DNA, like Nick Diaz, not a UFC guy, not just an MMA guy, but a fighter,
Yep.
the true spirit of core meaning of a fighter, Nick Diaz embodies that through and through. So that's what I'm saying, where even at the press conferences, he doesn't care about, you know, all this other stuff. He just wants to get the fight and fight hard and fight well. That's where it matters. So
Yeah. I think one thing I noticed is like Nick Diaz is like very reserved.
Yeah.
When it comes to like the interviews and all that stuff.
yeah.
Because like the vibe that I'm getting is like he's a street fighter. Because that's how he started, right? He started from fighting on the street.
Yeah, in Stockton, where it was
Yeah,
such a hard upbringing in that part of the United States and the world.
Yeah. So like I think just because like he came from that upbringing, it kind of shows that like he's not here to just for the fame, for
Right.
the money. He's here to like show up, like to go
Yo,
fight.
he's showing up
Yeah.
to kick some ass.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, that's what I'm saying, guys. Like, even just talking about this level of gangsterness that Nick Diaz brings to the sport, it's just so
Not
fun.
even just
man.
Nick, bro. The Diaz brothers.
Yes,
are
bro,
down.
the Diaz brothers. That's why I'm so happy for Nick to come back, because in theory, like, I mean, technically they're both are registered to fight at welterweight. I mean, that's where Nick made his fame, and I mean, I don't know how it's look like to have two Diaz brothers in the same weight class, but regardless,
Right.
having the Diaz family and the Diaz brothers in MMA and UFC is only going to make the sport better,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you can have the money fight people, you can have the the showboats, the Mayweather
Conor
equivalents,
McGregors.
the Conor McGregors, then you got the Khabibs, and then you got something right beautiful in the middle, where it's, you know, some that are there they're there for just business and to fight, not the fight business, but the business of fighting.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like
action.
the
Actual-
action.
yeah.
They bring the heat wherever they go. So I don't know what's gonna happen against Robbie Lawler versus Nick Diaz, but all I'm saying is it's gonna be a tremendous fight, an extraordinary fight to say the least.
I mean, we also kind of have to talk about Robbie Lawler a little bit.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean,
We
we're
kinda we gassing up.
Yeah, we gassing up Nick. He already gassed himself up probably
I know.
before, you know. But let's talk about Robbie Lawler, guys. I mean, Robbie Lawler is no slouch either.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna be honest, his last 4 fights in the current roster of UFC has been losses. I don't know if it's just knockouts or just decisions, but let's double check that.
Yeah.
But either way, they are losses on his records. But let's talk about it though. He's still had more activity in the last 4 years than Nick. He was the one that agreed to the DS camp's condition to go up a weight class the week before.
Yep.
And during the press conferences, this isn't the super hyper aggressive Robbie Lawler that we see. We're seeing a calm, collected, confident Robbie Lawler. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like based on that, 3 decisions and then a technical submission. I remember that fight against Ben Askren.
Yeah.
It looked like that.
It was like not knockout, but it was
No,
like
no,
a choke,
he
right?
had the choke. It looked like Robbie Lawler was out, but
Tapping.
Robbie, as soon as that ended, Robbie was like, "Well, what's going on?" And apparently, Robbie Lawler didn't tap. The ref
Yeah.
stopped it. So you could put an asterisk against his loss against Ben Askren, but still, 3 decision losses. It looks like that he hasn't had a knockout and seems like since 2016. So I mean, I don't know. What I would have to say is, if Robbie Lawler can bring his experience that he's had from being active with that aggression and being strategic about it, Nick Diaz might have a hard time in there.
Oh, yeah.
But that being said, as the fight drags out more rounds, we know the Diaz brothers have the gas tank and excel in those rounds.
Yes.
Chances are, if it goes to 4 or 5, you're in the Diaz territory right now. Where, guess what? You might get, as Conor McGregor says, fooked. And you can ask McGregor about that too, finding a Diaz brother.
Dude, we know the 2 fights he's had.
Yes.
Dude, at
my
the end,
God.
that's where the brothers. That's where they show up.
So I guess to the conclusion, I mean, if we're going to use history as, you know, to determine what's going to happen now, my guess is based on that, maybe Nick has it in the bag if it goes to 4 or 5. But if Robbie puts in the aggression early enough and, you know, mixes in some takedowns, I think Robbie may have it. if I don't know, the decisions go either or because Nick has lost on decisions as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. But that being said, with all this uncertainty, I guess it's time to bring our predictions for this fight. So Jason, bro, I'll let you go first. Give me the prediction, bro. Who do you think's gonna win? I know it's tough. I know it's hard, but you gotta give me the prediction, son.
Man. So I'm gonna pick as if I'm putting money on it, and I'm going Nick Diaz. I'm going Nick Diaz on this one. I think it's gonna be a. Let's see, I'm gonna make an assumption, and I'm gonna say 4th round stoppage.
Okay, for Nick.
Just putting it out there. I don't know.
So it's okay. So it could be knockout or submission. Okay.
Anything.
Okay.
4th round, I think.
Okay. It's my turn then.
Yep.
This is hard, guys, because my heart wants to go all in for Nick, and my heart wants to go all in for Nick. But if I'm looking at what I've seen at the press conferences, their conditioning, you know, and just based on experience, based on experience and activity.
You're going
okay,
the other way?
it's 51 Robbie, 49 Nick. All right, and I know I don't want to lie. I don't want to be an ass. I want to be a fanboy. I want to say Nick with all my heart, but I can't. And if I'm gonna be honest, I think the amount of activity that Robbie has, and he's only gotten sharper. Hopefully, I was hopefully as these fights have gone on, he's gotten sharper. And those were fights he says he wasn't excited for. He said he's hyped and excited for this fight against Nick. Right. So I hope I'm wrong. Let's just say, guys, I hope I'm wrong. But if I was a betting man and who had betting money, I don't. It's I'm gonna have to say Robbie Lawler. But that being said, I'm ready for anything to happen. I hope Nick pulls the W, because if Nick pulls the W, then we're about to see the Diaz brothers reign once again in the UFC. I mean, here's the best part. If I am right and Robbie Lawler beats Nick says right after at the press conference, he said, yo, if I lose, I'm coming right back in. So I'm not saying win or lose, Nick shouldn't come back. What I'm saying is we need to see more of him, and by any means necessary, let's get that happening. That being said, best of luck to both fighters. Guys, the next time you see us, we'll be reacting and then also discussing the rest of this fight as well.
Like I said, man, this is a street fight.
Right.
Like a street fight.
And I mean, they throw some kicks and stuff, but like, honestly, like as the fight keeps going, Diaz is showing a bit better. Look, he just ate a hook to the face.
I think Diaz is getting a little more comfortable.
Yeah, and look at that. He's landing. Look, that was an uppercut straight to the pipe.
Oh my god.
Oh, they're in Vegas, so it's legal over there. So you already know, after the fight, he's about to spark one regardless. Oh my god, he's connecting.
How is he not dodging these? This looks a lot faster.
But if his punches are heavier and they're connecting, those will affect a fighter too as well. Look at that.
How is he connecting those? This guy's not even trying to.
So there's another aspect to this that they older fighters.
Oh my god, he's ripping to the body.
Oh, now Robbie's ripping. Oh! But the thing is, it's like Robbie's eating those shots.
Yeah.
And but so is Diaz. But I mean, like, it looks like who's more affected by them. Robbie looks like.
140 strikes already.
Oh my god.
Oh. No, the thing is, the ref's looking real hard on this fight considering their ages. So. Oh, he's just pacing up.
What?
Dude, I've never seen that. That is insane. Oh my god. Dude.
Oh, wait. Oh, he's trying to take it to the ground. Oh. Oh, his leg. Oh, no.
Called it.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back. You just caught our reaction to UFC 266, Robbie Lawler versus Nick Diaz. Guys, it was an interesting fight to say the least. I'll go first. Oof, man. I mean, based on our bets, I had Robbie Lawler winning, but I didn't think he was gonna win in a fashion where, Nick kind of just. I don't want to say quit because that's not fair to say that, but it felt like that, once he was down there, he couldn't get up or just chose not to get up, and at that point, it was game over for him. I don't know if we'll see him back in the UFC based on that performance. I mean, he still brings names, he's still exciting, but I don't know. I think after that, they kind of like I remember a time when the Diaz, when they got put down, they either stayed in the ground to fight on the ground or get back up, and I don't know if I saw that in him. I mean, to be honest, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, congratulations to Robbie Lawler for getting the win out of it, but I mean, I feel bad for Nick at
Yeah.
this point, because it
Yeah.
also felt like he was kind of forced to come back in a lot of ways. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, it's a tough one for me to break down. But yeah, man. What about you?
I picked Nate that fight. I was kind of like shook from because like we've seen like the Diaz brothers. Well, not me. I've seen Nate Diaz fight so many times.
Right.
Every time he fights, even if he goes to the ground, he's inviting them to come down
Right.
or he's getting up.
Right.
And for me to like just see like Nick just be like stay on the ground, and then when they ask him to get up, he just kind of like stays there. I was kind of like, damn, dude.
Dude,
like, what's...
I was making excuses. I saw a big bump on his leg. I'm like, he can't fight. I'm like, that
Yeah.
makes sense. But I'm like, I guess that just wasn't the case.
It's like, I think the thing is like I was watching like all the press and everything that was going on during this, and something like the way he was acting was just a little off. Maybe
Yeah.
you told me like, oh, this is kind of how he acts.
I mean,
he's not a big fan of the.
he hates the press and all that
that.
stuff, which I still think that's still true.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's still true. Yeah, but I just think like something made it seem like he wasn't really ready to come back, kind of thing.
Right.
I felt like that kind of little. That's what I guess the vibe I was getting off of just the interviews and everything.
I didn't feel that same like spark because you
Yeah.
can be any fight condition, but like we saw some of the later fights. So
Mm-hmm.
most, I mean, like the final, like the main event, we saw the spark even when the opponent was losing. So
Yeah.
it kind of disheartens me some ways, but at the same time, like I got to give props for Nick for coming back to
Yeah,
to
I
not
mean-
only face the Robbie Lawler that's been a champion already, but has improved since then. And I mean now. Robbie's gonna get some great opportunities out of this. Maybe a prime time spot in a UFC event
Maybe,
fight.
yeah.
More props to Robbie Lawler for doing what he can to get it done, keeping consistent, having the enthusiasm and optimism and the energy to keep going and to push through. I mean, we saw him; he was stomping.
He was throwing some combinations.
Yeah, and he was
like,
stomping
really
in front,
nice.
and I was impressed with that. So I mean, no game taken off Robbie Lawler, and I mean. I wish Nick Diaz the best of luck, and hope to see him again with a more motivated team.
Fiery,
Yeah.
fire in him.
Yeah, I mean, as this video is probably gonna drop early in the week. We're probably gonna get news about some of the conditions of the fight, later on.
Coming before it.
Yeah, and so, but I mean, I don't know what else to say, Jason. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here,
Yeah.
guys. This is our wrap up for Never Bored with MMA. I'm your host, George.
Jason.
And that was UFC 266, Robbie Lawler versus Nick Diaz. Peace.